Hey there folks, Wrel here. Today we'll be quickly reviewing the Regeneration Implant in PlanetSide 2, and we'll break down exactly how much it does for you, when you'll find it most useful, and just generally shed some insight on why you'd ever want to equip it. The Regeneration Implant comes in 3 tiers, and it eats up the corresponding energy per second, depending on the tier. That's 0.5 energy per second for a tier 1, 1 energy per second for a tier 2, and 1.5 energy per second for a tier 3. Likewise, the Regeneration Implant heals the player over time depending on the level of the implant. At tier 1 it'll heal you for 4% health per second, at tier 2 it's going to heal you for 5% health per second, and at tier 3 it'll heal you for 6.67 health per second. And that number seems a little bit strange, but it actually ends up rounding out later. So to put those percentages into numbers, all non-max infantry classes have 500 health. That translates to 20 health per second at tier 1, 25 health per second at tier 2, and 33.35 health per second at tier 3. If you're running max rank nanoweave armor, provided my math is right, you'd effectively be getting back 25 health per second at tier 1, 31.25 health per second at tier 2, and 41.69 health per second at tier 3. So from a numbers perspective, it's a pretty decent difference if you're running max rank nanoweave, but functionally that matters a bit less because you cannot regen health while under fire. It takes the regeneration effect 12 seconds to start after you've taken health bar damage, so if you incorporate that 12-second delay into the amount of healing done over time, you'll find that it takes 24.5 seconds to recover 250 health, or 37 seconds to recover 500 health at tier 1. At tier 2, it's 22 seconds to recover 250 health, or 32 seconds to recover 500 health, and at tier 3, it's roughly 19.5 seconds to recover 250 health, or about 27 seconds to recover 500 health. So obviously you can't recover 500 health because if you lose 500 health you're dead, but 250 health is a pretty good reasonable figure to think about when you're talking about restoring health from an exchange between you and another player. To circle it back around, I mentioned that the 12-second delay initiates after you've taken health bar damage. I stress that last point because if I take damage, but it doesn't actually reduce my health bar, thanks to having the heavy assault shield or even the standard shields up and absorbing the damage, then my regeneration isn't interrupted. And this is a really cool thing because it becomes very synergetic with things like adrenaline shield, with nanoweave armor, with flak armor, and the advanced shield capacitor, even the medic's regeneration field. Anything that allows you to stay within the upper half of our effective health pool. It's also worth noting that your infantry health will regenerate while you're inside of a vehicle. So for example, if you're hurt repairing your vehicle, then you could just jump inside and you'll eventually heal back up. It does not, however, regenerate the health of the vehicle itself, as that would be kind of rigged. One thing I find interesting is that if you die and you get picked back up by a friendly medic, you will have to wait the full 12 seconds before your health regeneration starts to kick in. And this is different than the standard shield recharge, as if you're down on the ground for more than 10 seconds, your shields are going to instantly restart the moment that you get picked back up. And lastly, the Regeneration Implant cannot be equipped on max units. So if you're still asking yourself why would you ever want to equip the Regeneration Implant over something else, you'd find a couple good reasons, really. The biggest one is that you no longer suffer from degradation outside of ammo and utilities, and being an engineer will help mitigate the ammo part. When I say degradation, I'm talking about each time you enter an exchange with another player, you fire off some shots, you take some shots, you're usually going to end up taking some damage to your health pool. And if you're a medic, you can heal yourself, you can top yourself off, but if you're any other class, you're effectively compromised because you only have your shields that regenerate over time. And if you end up popping a health kit to get the missing health back, that means you'll have one less left until you resupply. Another big benefit of equipping the Regeneration Implant is that it gives you a little bit more breathing room for running something besides medkits in the first place. If you can put yourself into cover often enough, that means that you're free to run proxy mines, C4, anti-tank mines, etc., without having to worry about whether or not you'll have friendly medics nearby to top you off. It's not going to save your life in the same way that a medkit can, but it does provide some much needed leniency with your class setup. That said though, if you're running in a squad or if you're constantly putting yourself in situations where there are always medics on hand, then there's very little reason to run the Regeneration Implant at all. To build on that, if you do really want to run the Regeneration Implant, you'll find that the Tier 2 and Tier 3 versions are not necessary for the vast majority of situations. Unless you have no problems with energy consumption, a Tier 1 still completely changes your playstyle to become much more sustainable. Much like equipping the first rank of Nanite Auto Repair on your max unit means that you don't have to be tethered to an engineer 100% of the time. Tier 2 and 3 regeneration implants obviously offer some advantages, and the difference is noteworthy, but in the grand scheme of things, the rare occurrence that it proves useful doesn't really justify the energy cost in my opinion. If you'd like to run a higher tier but you're worried about when it'd be appropriate, then I'd just say to judge it based on the scale of the fight. A bigger fight means that restoring lost health more quickly has a greater impact than it does during a smaller fight where it's easier to play hide and seek. If this video has been interesting, helpful, or entertaining, please feel free to like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and if there is a specific implant that you'd like to see me review next, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below. Thanks very much folks, Wrel signing off.